Hello, my name is Cesar Malagon Flores. I'm in the course of Philosophy Law, and in this video we're gonna discuss the topic of the torture and the implication of the human dignity.
Hello everyone, my name is Valeria Marcial, and as my classmate says, we're going to have a little discuss about the terrorism and the paper of the human dignity in this topic.
Well, have you heard about the controversy surrounding torture justification in the cases of terrorism? Well, in my opinion, the natural law theorists will never argue that the torture should never be used, regardless of the circumstances. So, human dignity is a fundamental principle that should be not to be compromised.
I am related with this point of view about the use of the torture. The most important thing is that here in Mexico, in the whole international tragedies that we have, the most important thing is the human rights and of course the human dignity. So for me, it's the most important thing that we must conserve.
Well, I'm going to start with a question. Have you heard about the controversy surrounding torture and its justification in cases of terrorism? Well, in my opinion, natural law theorists would argue that the torture should never be used, regardless of the circumstances. The human dignity is a fundamental principle that should not be compromised.
I already heard about the role of the natural law in this topic, and for me it's very important because when the one of the goals of the natural law is to get the human being participate in these decisions, because for example here in Mexico we have the cartels in more in the north of the country, but these kind of situations not a long ago are considered a terrorism. So one of us could be in this situation for any reason, and we need to get more involved in this topic.
Okay, thank you for your opinion, Valeria. I'm gonna ask another question that for me is very controversial in this topic. For example, what do you think about the idea of justifying the torture in extreme cases? Like, for example, interrogating terrorists to prevent future attacks.
As I said, here in Mexico we have the unfortunately situation of the cartels and all of those things. So for me in this case it's a good idea to, for example, if one of the important elements of the cartel get in the hands of the authorities, it's a good idea to get more information of this situation, but not using the torture or really get hurt in their bodies or psychological affections.
Thank you for your answer. For example, for me, I have a similar answer that because of the natural law will maintain the human dignity in an absolute value and should be not sacrificed for the sake of the utility. So I believe that in any critical situation, we should seek alternatives that respect the integrity of each individual and human rights. I also believe that we argue that torture could save life if we use to maintain available information. But it also are like different because of the it advocates of the natural law that believe that the torture is inherently immoral. So its effectiveness is like questionable because people under the torture may provide false information just to end their surrender.
Exactly. As I said, in the case of the narco traffic things or those kind of things, it doesn't assure to you that get the truly information or mm, real information. So the for me the best idea is to use the better psychological methods to get this information.
Okay, thank you, Valeria. I understand your position, and it seems that the discussion about the torture is very complex and ethical. So, to finish, I would like to close by exposing my opinion and my argue that this topic is a complex issue, and it's important to reflect on the human dignity and fundamental values, then dealing with such serious matters as a torture in case of terrorism. Thank you for the discussion, partner, and I hope you have a nice day.
Of course, it is a super controversial topic because I thought that it depends of the culture too, because for example American people don't have the similar ideas or point of views as a Mexican or European people, and this is going to be more internal topic that we should resolve.